Happy Friday. I guess you could say it's kinda like my theme music, right? It's like and maybe that's just from my background where I'm just accustomed to having something kind of going and all of that kind of stuff. Whatever, whatever. Welcome in today. I am Kisa, Coach K, and I am bringing to you on this fantastic Friday our final installment for this week. Let me be very careful in saying final, but a final installment for this week on the men's take on what they want in mature relationships. And can I just say that you all have what's the word? You all have commented, you all have liked, you all have engaged, you all have shared. So guess what? I'm pretty smart in that arena, okay? I'm a pretty good reader of people. So what I understand is you like to hear the men speak. So with that in mind, and oh, by the way, who am I? I am Kisa. I'm Coach K. Okay. Kisa, Coach K. And I want to say to you, trying to find out how to turn this music off, y'all. Boom, there we go. But I'm Kisa, Coach K, and I am a certified life coach, media trainer, owner, founder, creator, chief marketer of All Shea Naturals, all of that. But one of the most important things that I love to do is I am a conversation starter and I am a human connector. So let's go ahead and let's get connected with our guest today. You have seen him, you know him, the many faces that he wears, but today he's Antonio Boswell. What's up, Boz?
What's up, Kisa? How you doing today?
I'm doing super fantastic, super fantastic. Look, I always have you on. You know, we talk a lot in that professional space, and
Hmm.
the timing of it probably couldn't be better. But we saw you and Miss Taza, your other half, on vacation recently.
Yep,
You
yep. About a week ago.
Yeah, you was it a little beach vacay?
Yeah, it was a beach vacay about once a year, around the same time every year. We make sure that we do at least 5 to 7 days of vacation.
Yeah, yeah, that's smart. Not only personally, but wow, what does it do to help your relationship? And I almost feel like that's a relationship tip for someone, Boz, right there.
Yeah, yeah. You have to make sure that you take specific time for specific things, especially when you're doing your day to day. She works for the government. I'm an entrepreneur, so there are always certain things going on. They're stressing her job, stressing my job, and not just her stress and my stress, but at some point that stress kind of comes together. So sometimes we have to find the time to make sure that opposite stress comes apart, where we can just be Tony and Taysom.
I love it. I love it. Oh, Tony. All right then, to
Yeah,
talk about some
my
things.
family my family calls me Tony.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Antonio.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's cute though. I like it. Tony and Taser. I like that. Okay. I do. I'm a big wordplay person.
Yeah, the sound, the T and the T.
Yes, I'm a big wordplay person. I
Hmm.
love it. Okay, let's bring it in a little bit, boss. Let's bring it in a little bit, okay? Let's have some conversation here.
Okay.
So I know this is a general question, and I'll just let you determine what direction you want to go. I'm going to take notes as you, because I love to do that. It kind
And,
of makes me think old school, like I'm back
uh,
reporting, right?
Prism.
Yeah. And you definitely understand that, being a journalism person yourself. You understand that.
Hmm.
Just let's go. Let's get right in. What's the word? What do mature men want in relationships?
Ooh. So people ask this question all the time. I've had my friends over the years ask me that question, and I always hesitate. And you probably saw me hesitate just then. You saw me hesitate when I started to answer, and I think I started to hesitate because it's like people want a general, wide termed answer. And that's really not what the answer is. The answer should be specific. The answer is going to be specific. Because if I sit here and I tell you what I want in a relationship, that has nothing to do with the man you're going to meet tomorrow. Nothing
Wow.
at all. Nothing
Wow.
at all. So it may set you up for a couple of ideas. It's going to let you know about me. But if you're not meeting me tomorrow, does not matter. Does not matter. But what I like does not matter at all.
Yeah.
So, and let me ask this question. I can say what I want to say on here. I can.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Good.
We wouldn't have it any other way. We wouldn't
Okay.
have it any other way. And and
Gotcha.
and I found, Boz, that when you say what you need to say and wanna say on here, that's when you get the most engagement because people can identify with the real.
Excellent. Excellent. So you know how I get down because we've had many personal conversations. But
Yeah.
you know our background is broadcast. There are certain things you can't say on broadcast, and that
Yeah.
always in my mind. So I didn't want to say the wrong thing, get us shut down.
Your boy was on last night, Joe Lockett, and, Joe Lockett said this on his
All right.
you know, you already know what comes out.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Any expletive, if he wants to say it, it's just
Gotcha.
like, it's
Gotcha.
out here.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, so I totally get that. And I'm going to tell you a funny story, a brief funny story. Out this morning meeting one of the business owners on 4th Avenue, and he said, I was saying something. I said, well, guys, he said, 80 something year old, Mr. Kimball is his name, one of the barbers, one of the owners of a barber shop. He said, no, 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 don't say that. He said, because until you've met every man, he said, every man is different. And that's kind of what you're saying. He
Yes.
said, every man
That's
is
what
different.
I'm
So
saying.
no, ma'am, don't say that, Miss Lady. Don't say that.
Yeah.
So I get it. So not every man is the same. But can you give us some general markers then on, and I tell you what, maybe we pivot and say, how does a woman then know if a guy is interested in her?
And again, general information is good. General information can give you a foundation, but
Hmm.
I believe in everything: relationships, personal relationships, business relationships, learning anything. You have to know the basics, but then you need to get down to the specifics because we can
Correct.
sit here and say, "Oh, men want a good looking woman," but what's good looking according to a specific man? Because
Yeah.
what I like physically, the next man may not like.
Yeah.
So another man may say, "Okay, I need the woman I marry, or the woman I'm involved with, or the woman I'm going to be in a relationship with. I need her to make a certain kind of money." Well, the next man, that may not be what's most important to him. So I
Mm.
think the issue may be that we're generalizing instead
Ah,
of taking each person as a person, because that's the way it's gonna come. So you can watch TV shows, you can watch back in the day, you can watch Oprah and watch the Oprah thing. All those people that watched Oprah and bought all the books and watched all those TV shows, they ass probably single now. Let's tell the truth. So that didn't work. So that didn't work.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
we can say in general, what does a woman want? So I say, Kisa, what do women want? And you go down this long list, and I say, okay, I get it. And then I meet a specific woman, but the things that are on your list are not on her list. Then what I'm supposed to do?
Ah,
It's
that's
going,
good.
it's Bernie Mac. It's going to be trouble,
Yeah,
trouble.
that's
It's going
good.
to be trouble. So honestly, I believe the best thing to figure out is to go ahead and be selfish and figure out what it is that you want. Figure out what it is,
Ooh.
what you have to offer. Determine what your standards are, what you can do without. Because when it comes down to it, 80% is the goal. You need to get 80%. Eighty
Mm-hmm.
percent is the goal, and that's going both ways. Because
Mm-hmm.
nobody's perfect. You're not going to get 100%. You're not going to be able to give 100%. My
Mm-hmm.
goal was to get to that 80, and
Mm-hmm.
my goal is to give 80. That 20% is just gonna have to blow in the wind because just personally, I can't give 100%. I'm human. I got
Yeah.
shit going on.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
shit going on. Once
Yeah.
I realize I got shit going on, I have to realize that anybody coming this way is going to have shit going on. So we're two imperfect people looking for the perfect relationship. How did it work?
Wow.
It can't work. So
Wow.
I have an idea based on what somebody says I should have. That does not work. A lot of times we look at fantasies or what we see on TV or the movies or in the Matrix, and that's is not how relationships work. Relationships are with two imperfect people. And let me say this: I believe a lot of it is finding someone whose issues match your issues.
Wait, explain that. You mean that's a problem or that's good? What explain?
So you have to find someone whose issues matches your issues. So my issue could be I don't like selfish women. So that means the person that I meet cannot be selfish.
Mhm.
That's my
Mm,
issue. And if that's my issue, sooner or later that issue is going to be triggered.
that's
So
right.
I have to find someone who matches my issue. Some
Ah.
people don't like men who smoke. So you don't
Mhm.
need to get with a man who smokes because you're going to be triggered every time he starts to puff up. So
Mhm.
if she has an issue, she may not like men who go out with their boys because of whatever reason. If you like to go out with your boys, it's going to be an issue every time you go. So I
Yes.
think you have to find somebody not just who you're compatible with. The things that aren't compatible can't be major issues because
Mhm.
they're coming. They're coming. Something's gonna come. Something's gonna be wrong. You're not gonna agree on everything.
And you know what? That's a mature way of looking at it because sometimes I think we have this selfish, pie in the sky relationships. This what I want. She can't do this. He can't do that. Nope. Everybody I said this on the show yesterday, day before. Everybody's got their issue,
Mm-hmm.
don't you think? I mean, who's walking around here perfect?
Everybody has an issue, and again, so if everyone has an issue, you really need to find the person whose issues you are good with. Everyone doesn't have the same issue, so you can find the person who looks like you want them to look, but what is their issue?
Ha.
If you
Ha.
if they're looking good, you can deal with that. That's nothing. But what is their issue?
Ha.
You're set up to deal with their issue. You're good. Everything else
Yeah.
you can handle. But
Yeah.
what is their issue? If
Ha.
you can handle my issue, everything else is good. Taysa can handle my issues,
That's
whatever
good.
they are. No, she can handle my issues because she's still here. She
Yes.
has issues. I can
Yeah.
deal with her issues, and that's
Yes.
why I'm still here. The other good things, that's easy. That's 100. That's easy. There's no brain, no hands. Close your eyes and make it happen. But
Yeah.
when my issues come out, is she still good when my issues come out? Am I still good when her issues come out? That's what it's all about. So what do I want? What do men want in women? It's gonna be what it is. You got to find that person. When the good is good, you good. When the bad is bad, you still got to be good.
That's good. Ooh, that's good. You see me over here rocking like I'm in church. Sometimes you just have to rock. I understand how the
Mhm,
elders feel in the church. It's like that,
mhm,
like he preaching now, he talking now. Because that is a mature way of looking at it. So let me pivot then based on this interview with you because boy y'all have come with all different sorts of things, man. I love it. I love it. Y'all are calling the reporter out in me. Maybe that's why it's so exciting. So let me pivot
mhm.
with you, bro. Let me pivot with you, friend. So instead of saying, okay, as a mature woman in my 50s, saying, well, I wonder what mature men want. I'm speaking on behalf of my sisters who are watching this. And ladies, I want y'all to chime in tonight. Are you registering with what he's saying? Okay. And what questions do you have for Uncle Boz and for Boz? So knowing that I'm pivoting with you, the question is, should a woman then more so focus on herself and her issues or what she needs? You're shaking your head. Go for it.
100%. And I'll say that to anybody. The most important thing you can do is
Wow.
to be selfish. You need to be
Wow.
selfish in some things. You need to think about you instead of trying to figure out what I like. You need to figure out what you like because I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be me, and honestly, there's not a damn thing you can do to change it. It's not. And why would you want a man you can just change easily anyway? It don't fit. So
I would
it's
expect you to say
you
that.
know me and
Mhm.
changing me. Why don't you figure out what you like and find what you like? It'll save you some time. It'll save you some heartache. It
Yeah.
will save you some misery.
Yeah.
It'll save you some tears and fighting. It'll just save all of that. So take time to figure out what another person wants and what they need. But first, you need to figure out what you need, and then develop based on that because you can't change another person. You can't put what you want into another person, but what you want should already be in you. So figure that out. Figure out who you are and develop a standard. And anyone you meet has to meet that standard. That's it. Now, if you decide to go against that and accept what's not your standard, then that's on you.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I think we try to put things on other people to take it off ourselves. And you still end up going around in the circle. So the
Agree.
time I'm spending trying to figure somebody else out, man, I'm going to take that time to figure me out, to find out what I like, what I need, and then personally, I'm going to figure out why. Because what I think I like and what I think I need may not be about shit. So
Yeah.
I need to know where that's coming from. I need to know why I think I need a certain kind of person when I honestly may not. It may be my issue making me think I need a certain kind of person. So me, I like to get into me. I like to get deep inside of me to the point where I'm about to throw up because I'm making my damn self sick. But once I learned how to do that, I felt
Yeah.
better about me
Yeah.
and things I wouldn't accept. Once you know yourself and you know what you want, you know what you need, and you good with that. A lot of these bullshit you don't accept. I've known some of the most smartest, brilliant women in the world, and they
Yeah.
have suffered for the most dumbest bullshit I've ever seen in my life. How
Yes.
did it work?
Yes.
How did it work, man?
Yes.
How did it
Yes.
work? Now, I will say that, they say women is made for man. I do believe that, but you were made for every man. You were made for
Come on.
every man.
Say that again.
Every man.
Say that again.
I say women were made for men, and you probably were made for a man, but it's not every man. So just because he's a man, doesn't mean you need to try to change to fit that man. There's a man out there who's going to fit you, and you're going to fit him. But
We're gonna let me
some of the most brilliant women I know, man, just good hearts,
yeah.
look good,
Yeah.
kind,
Yeah.
thoughtful, generous,
Yeah.
end up with some of the biggest pieces of shit.
Jerks.
And yes, just total jerks, whatever word you want to use. And y'all know what I'm talking about. And most of
That's
y'all out here have done it. Most of
yes.
y'all have done it. But
Yes.
it's not necessary, man. It's not necessary. Totally unnecessary.
So this is so good because let me breathe on this. I got to move this back because I got to move the camera back and yeah, let me get me some water too. And I'm drinking on behalf of I'm not drinking on behalf I'm drinking on behalf of myself and some of my friends out there today. Let me get a sip. Mm, let me wash that down. Okay. So accepting some things. So I'm I'm sensing that you're talking to somebody who's in the throes of something right now. I'm sensing there are going to be some folks on here tonight who not they we think they're just watching to be watching, but they're watching because they're into some stuff and they're hoping that something is said. And you think I'm lying? It's happened with my past shows. What do you say to them if they're in the throes of dealing with that piece of
I think what my message always goes back to the same thing. And I've had friends and associates that I've talked to at least since I was in high school. And what I share is always based on the same thing. It is selfish. Like my friends are always come to me and tell me about other situations, telling me about other people, telling me about what the other person did. And if it's somebody that I care about, I honestly don't want to hear about what the other person did. If that person is like that, that's that person. But what is it about you that you were drawn to that person?
Yeah.
What is it about you that you allowed that person in?
Yeah.
Because I believe what we can control is what we can control. We can 100% control ourselves, but there's no way we can totally control anyone else. So the person you have a problem with, they're going to be them.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to change, they're going to change. But most times you can't do anything about that. You can't
Mm-hmm.
change a person. You can't build a person. So why are you trying to change and build a person with the easiest person to change and the person that you can change and the person that you do have control over is you? But we skip over ourselves and skip to
Trying to
somebody else
change them.
easier. It's
Yeah.
easy. It's easy to tell somebody else they need to change. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. So like I
Yeah.
say, Keisha, you shouldn't have did that. You should do
Yeah.
this. You should
Yeah.
have did. You should have did this. But at the
Yeah.
same time, there's something within in me that I need to change. It's easy for me to try to change you than to look into myself and see what's up with myself and make that change for myself. So a lot of relationships, you find one person, oh, they need to do this, they need to do that. Well, there's probably something you need to do too, if it's nothing but determine why you fail for that shit.
Okay. Okay.
Why did you fall for it? Why did you grasp it? Why did you accept it? Why did you not leave sooner?
Hmm.
You always have yourself. You're always with yourself. So why wouldn't you take care of yourself? Why wouldn't you learn yourself,
Hmm.
teach yourself, improve yourself? Because you always have yourself. We should know by now. People are come and go.
Yeah.
How many relationships have you had? Not saying you, but us in general. How
Oh,
many
sure.
relationships have we had? People come and go.
Sure.
Sometimes it's long term, sometimes it's short term, but they come and go. But the one thing that we have in common, the one thing that's constant is us. So why
Hmm.
don't we work on ourselves more? So if we work on ourselves, that's when we look at somebody else, find out who they are. Does it match us? If it doesn't, then you out.
Oof. Oof. So what I hear you saying is a lot of us don't know ourselves.
That's it. We know ourselves, we don't like it.
And we know ourselves and we just refuse to do anything about it. It's too hard to change.
It's hard. It's hard to change, man. It's hard to change. I'm speaking from my point of view. I've looked into myself long enough and deep enough that I know what my issues are. I know what my shortcomings are because I check myself out like that. Now, am I able to change it? Hard. It's hard. Sometimes I can get in there and I can work on it and I can see a little change, but sooner or later I revert back. And it's because I guess it's just a part of me at this point. But I have to try, but it's still on me and it's hard. It is work. It's
Yeah.
hard work to work on you because it's you, but it's worth it. It's damn sure worth it. And until you get into you, until you know yourself, until you have a more of a confidence in yourself, and I'm not saying confidence to go out and get in it, but I'm saying confidence to be you,
Yeah.
confidence to sit in a room in the damn dark and be cool with who you are, or at least with who you're trying to be.
Yeah.
And once you get with that, all the bullshit coming won't even matter
Yeah.
because you won't listen to it. You won't engage it. You want to allow it into your life because you good.
Mm. I'm sorry. I'm doing that church rock again. Mm. What do you all have to say about what he said? Boy, I am astounded. I'm astounded at how we've had four different gentlemen on and how the nuggets that are coming out in each one. And your central message is do the work on you. Let
Do
me
the work on you. That's it. That's it.
So, Boz, let me ask you this then. For those who, let's say, because I started doing a series on narcissism, relationship issues,
I
got a
saw it.
tremendous amount of feedback on that. You would be shocked. You'd be shocked. Um, the thing about it is, how do we, so and I told them during the series, I have a shot with you because, and I'm really aiming it toward those who are dating. If you're married, you got to think through how you do it or how you work through. So with that in mind, how do we, while doing the work on us, while being selfish, what else, developing standards as women, okay, how do we, and let's just say those who have had an issue, and really I'm covering everybody who's had an issue
Mhm.
picking the wrong one. How do you avoid that in the future? How do you minimize those odds?
That's a good question. That's a deep question. I'm glad you brought up this series on narcissists because I saw it. We've talked about it, and I want to talk about that narcissist thing,
Go for
and
it.
and it goes back to that work on you part. So in my professional career, which includes investigations, a narcissist was the person that I wanted to see when I was conducting an investigation or work in a room or work in a company. That was the person I wanted to see.
How,
Was a
explain. Okay.
if you know what a narcissist is, a narcissist is the easiest person to play. 'Cause a narcissist is the easiest person to play. So
Wow.
you can get played by a narcissist is if you're not on your game within you. Goes back to
Ooh,
being you. Goes back
ooh.
to you being you. 'Cause a narcissist is the easiest thing to recognize.
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah.
Ooh, I know where you're going with
Narcissist
this.
is the easiest thing to recognize. You know what they're doing. You know you may not know exactly what their goal is, but you know how they're set up. You know how they're moving. You know they're thinking about themselves. You know about their ego. So a narcissist is the easiest thing to play. So when I used to work investigations, when I saw a narcissist in the room and I needed information or I needed to get in for my client, that's the person I went for because I know how the narcissist is set up. So if you know how the narcissist is set up, how did you fall for the narcissist? It's the way you're set up. That's the only way you fall for a narcissist. You see a narcissist coming from up the street.
Mile away.
Oh, right.
So let me tell. So, ooh, that's good. I'm gonna have to push this out again because I have to breathe on stuff with you. Doggone it, Boz. God dog it, Boz. I have
Come
to
on.
breathe on stuff with you. So the terminology I believe is new. The personality has been there for a while, but it just, I don't know if the terminology is new. I don't know if we're just kind of having more of an awareness of it right now. But that right there is a game changer. Because if you know that this person, I'm gonna tell you what you said in about 2 sentences. If you know they're gonna have the loudest ego, they're gonna generally be the person seeking attention. They're generally gonna be and if they're quiet, it's something about them that will seek attention. That they have a tendency to exploit the truth. They will love bomb you and give you false compliments and blah blah blah. And you can play into them by understanding. You play into the ego. So what you're saying is use the information for your benefit, number one, and number two, avoid altogether.
That's it. You just hit it, Keisha. That is it 100%. Now you notice I said when I was in investigations, that's business. If you're in business and you see the narcissist, you can use that for your benefit. If you're looking for a relationship, you need to get the hell away. There is no benefit. There's
Wow.
no benefit.
No.
There's no benefit. In a relationship. There's no benefit. Zero.
Wow.
None.
Wow.
there's no way I would have a personal relationship with a narcissist. You heard me say a little while ago, I don't really like selfish people. There's no way
Yeah.
I can have a relationship with a narcissist unless it's business related.
Wow. So this, boy, what a perspective shift. What a perspective shift. So even as a guy, and let me ask you this, you recognize narcissists from whether it's females or males?
Yeah,
Yeah, Kisa. Yeah. And so
yeah.
from a personal relationship, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, so my background is media and broadcast, but I was in private investigations for like 25 years.
Hmm.
So that was part of what I did. You need to be able to go into the room and determine what kind of person is in the room, what kind of person you're dealing with, so you
Wow.
can manipulate that person
Yeah. To get what you need
to get what you need.
in the
And but
investment.
again, that's business. That's business. But in personal, you don't want to deal with that. You get away from that.
Yeah. Even in a friendship is what you're saying. You don't even play with it.
I mean, again, it's okay to be selfish and to see what's going to be for your benefit. We have friends that we really get nothing from that we give to them. That's how it is. That's how it's supposed to be. I think relationships are supposed to be, reciprocity. You give, I give, you take, I take. But sometimes you just give, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're looking at certain kind of relationships, you need to get something back. You need to
You I
give, you need to take.
understand.
Right. It may not be the same thing, but
Mhm.
there has to be some give and take.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me turn this way to maybe let me t- let me turn
I'm
this way.
so glad you brought narcissist up because I was thinking all of this stuff when I saw your series on narcissists.
So why don't I just so let me sit back for just a moment because this is what we do anyway. I
We
called
do,
him and I'm like, Boz, such and
we
such.
do.
And then I started listening and I'm like, dang, Boz, that's pretty good. And I'm left with a perspective on some things. Um, so what else did you want to add? Is there anything else you wanted to add about the narcissist series or that you would give to the folks?
Nope, same thing. If you build yourself, check yourself, know yourself, and grow, it's going to help you. A lot of us tend to jump to other people and try to determine who they are and what they're about. But once you determine who they are and what they're about, it's still going to come back to you. So if you happen to, fall for a narcissist and you find that they're a narcissist, then you need to leave that alone. But you need to figure out, okay, what was it about that narcissist that got me?
Yes.
And that goes back to, my past career, my business. I've seen a lot of people get scammed, and then they would call us in to find out if they were getting scammed, and we would find out what was going on. I said, okay, yeah, you got had, you got played, you got scammed. Now let's find out why, so
Mhm.
this won't happen to your company again. It's the same thing with personal relationships. That person is a scammer, they're a crook, and if we look at it from the term of business, we get scammed, we get played by a crook. We just want them to go to jail, pay the money back, then we leave them alone. But at the same time, you got to find out how and why you got scammed, you got played.
Mhm.
Treated the same way in a relationship. Okay, how did that dude get to me like that? How did that woman get to me like that? The
That's
the,
good.
the clues were there all the time. There were red flags hanging off of every building in the area. How did that person? How did that person get to me? How did that person get past my guard, my intuition, my
Yeah.
instinct? How did that person
Yeah.
play me like that?
Yeah.
And people don't want to admit they got played.
Yes. Yes.
Go ahead and
Bob,
admit you got played.
huh?
Go ahead and admit you got played. It'll help you get to the point where you can determine how not to get played again.
So, Boz, I got to do a little role play with you right there because this is so good because I know how to help some people. So, So help us understand. So like let's role play. Let's think about something. So when a person is kind of doing this self-analysis and they're like, okay, dog, I'm pretty bright, I'm pretty smart, but somehow this person kind of got through this, or either I'm entertaining this person who I know is cray cray, okay, for the person who's dating, and they're entertaining something that they know they shouldn't, entertaining a narcissist, let's just say. Can you give us like an example of how you think a narcissist would be able to get in with a person who's intelligent in any other arena? Some of the things that they would do, some of the tactics that they would use. Let's break it down for the people.
Okay, so I'm not going to exactly go into a tactic they would use. I'm going to take it from the other point of view. I'm going to take it from the person's point of view.
Okay.
So you see a red flag, you would see some of that behavior that you know you don't like, but you'll put up with it, you'll deal with it, you'll try to ignore it because that person looks like you want them to look.
Who you think
Just an
she's
example.
pretty?
Yeah, you think she's pretty or she is. Everybody has a physical thing. Everybody
Right.
has a physical thing. It may be one, it may be two, it may be skin complexion, size, hips, lips, eyes. It is something just that physically, if it hits your mind right, you don't give a damn what else is going on.
Right.
And for most people, that's what's going. It don't matter. It don't matter what's going on. If that person looks like what gets you
Go.
moving,
Yeah,
yeah, right. You know what I'm talking about. But
I
it's more
do.
to it than that. It's more
Yeah,
to it than that. So you
yeah,
see, oh, that's what I like, and this that's looking like I like, and then they open their mouth and you in the red flag, but then they still looking like you want them to look, and you look past that red flag. Or if you're a person who likes money, there's nothing wrong with liking money, and that person has a certain amount of money, and they're
hmm
willing to spend that money, and you
hmm
start to overlook the other things. So again, you need to look inside yourself, see what's important to you, see what's most important. If you're getting that one need fulfilled and you care about nothing else, then go for it. But if you need to be a balanced person, sometimes that most important thing to you is not what's going to be most important somewhere down the line, because looks change, looks fade, and just quite honestly, we're human. Most of the time, we get accustomed to that look.
yeah,
But so
yeah.
what's going to go on after that point? So the narcissist is going to be the narcissist. The asshole is going to be the asshole. But what is it about that person that you overlooked it? Because you can see it. If you look back, you saw it when you first met the person. You saw it day one, day two, week two, first argument, first disagreement, first time they didn't show up, first time they didn't call, first time you saw it with somebody else. You saw it. So why did you overlook it, ignore it, push it to the back? That's the part you need to figure out. Because the narcissist or the asshole will always be the narcissist or the asshole. What is it about you that was good with that one? That's what you need to figure. Was because she looked a certain way?
hmm
Because let's turn it to men. A lot of men have ended up with bad women. Why? Because she has a fat ass. Okay,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
right. She looked a certain way. Well, what
yeah,
had no morals, no values, but she looked a certain way,
yeah.
and that's what happens. It all comes back to you. It all it that, look at all the options we have in the world. Look at all the options we have in Birmingham. Those are all the options. How is it that you just choose for two or three? It's all about you. It's all about you,
So,
always.
so let's talk. Wow. Wow. Talk about what men want in relationships, mature men. And the moral of the story is put the focus back on you, ladies, and don't be as concerned about that, because once you know yourself, you'll know
Mm,
how to weed it out and
mm,
see. I want you to speak to, because you said you're saying some things about how do you settle with that one? How do you overlook, and how do you deal with this clown and their behavior? What I'm finding is there are a sect of guys, particularly the single guys. Boz, you're married, but but there are a sect of single guys who are very good at rehearsing the narrative of. I just had a gentleman tell me last night, well, women act like they're the prize when, there are 10, 10 women for every man. So men have become very astute at, and even the married ones, at reciting that statistic like, well, if you don't, I can go do something else. I believe a lot of women in particular, it certainly goes both ways, but I believe a lot of women are afraid, and that's why they settle. Can you speak to that?
Ooh, that's a good one. So, um, I think now, I think you just said that men will actually say that. I don't
They
think we're
are
just,
saying it.
yeah, they're saying it. Well, honestly, we've always known it
Ah,
because our nature is set up like that. Just honestly, people don't want to hear it, but men's nature is set up for multiple women. Good, bad, like it or not, that's just the way the hell it is. And I'm married and I'm good with my wife, but that's just the way it is.
mhm.
There are more women than men. There
Yeah.
always have been more women than men. That's just nature. So us knowing that, I think it's changed that we're saying it to you. Now that just blows my mind because in my day we didn't say it. We knew it. Most men moved on it, but they just didn't come out and say that. So that has changed, and it is true. There, what? Let's just come up with a number. There are 10 women to every man, but let's just say, and I go back to my college days. Went to Alabama State University, and always people, guys, always talk about the ratio. Man, there's 7 women to every guy down here. And me in my mind, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, 7 women to every guy. Out of them 7, how many I'm gonna want? How many gonna want me?
You got that, you got a number, but do you have quality?
Yeah, you got 5, you got 7, but how many of that 7 you gonna want? How many of
That
that 7 gonna want you? And I
that
have
part.
I've never been afraid to stand by. Couple of them I'm not just gonna want because of their grade, they ain't have no grades. So they take away some. Then some I'm just not gonna be attracted to physically. That's gonna take away a song. Then some ain't gonna want me. That's gonna take away some. So they kind of leave one. So
That
that ratio, what is that ratio about? It's 8 women, but how many you gonna want? How many gonna want you? Now, if you just out there trying to get down and you random with it, yeah, fine. But what the hell that ratio mean? That crazy bullshit ass ratio. And then I didn't even count the lesbians. They're not gonna want me, right? They're not gonna want me. So that we went from 8 to 2. Oh boy.
so you just so ladies, now, the next time they come to you with that BS about, well, it's 10 women for every man. How many are they realistically going to get along with, or even want? Number one, and number two, it is the assumption women hear that, and it's to shut a woman down. It's to make you think you're not all that. Don't require. But
Mm,
here's the thing that a lady has to stand on, and knowing herself is what you said. Yeah, you may have 10 women, but you ain't gonna have 10 me.
there's no way. There's no way.
If
There's
you're
no
a
way.
quality woman, I'm not saying just me. I'm saying, ladies, make that your response. Or normally ladies don't say that to a man, but that's what, but that is even, I mean, listen, I've even been married and said and had it said to me before. And I think this, the statistic in that one was it went up to what, 15, 16 for every.
Wow.
I'm not
That,
saying that's I'm not saying that's accurate, but I'm saying that was what was quoted.
it could be 15 or 16, and depending on what you want to do, what your goals are. But we're
Yeah.
talking about relationships. Relationship wise, everyone's not compatible, good, bad, whatever. So you're talking about, I like round numbers because my mind is slow. We're talking about, just say 10 women in the room.
Yeah.
How many of that 10 am I really going to have a relationship with? Then we got to take it down again. How many are going to want to have a relationship with me? That number 10 is going to get small real damn quick.
you are breaking it down. You have broken it down. So that so you've given some of these women some ammunition now. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Because when it was said, it was just recently said to me, and I didn't even, I didn't even think to say, well, dog, I mean, that doesn't make sense. Because let me tell you something, at the end of the day, as a woman, you also have other options, whether you believe, and depending on how diverse that woman wants to be. I think a lot of times as black women, there may be a certain sect who may have an affinity toward, or whatever, toward black men. But I tell you what, I'm seeing a lot of biracial couples these
Mm-hmm.
days where people are
Mm-hmm.
saying, listen, I'm not going to continue to wait around on, if you're not going to get it together, or if I'm not your cup of tea, that's okay. Let me go
Right.
someone is okay with that. So you have armed some women today. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. I mean, I just think that is good. Like, ladies, am I out there by myself? Like, like, you talk about like perspective shift and responding to that sort of talk that is meant to kind of keep it almost seems to me like it's meant to keep you in your place. Like, don't be thinking you all that now, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna let you just have the closing word, because wow, I mean, when you talk about like drop the mic, like nuggets that you're sharing, closing out, I'm I know you're gonna say part of that, go back to you, because when we go back to us, yes, thank you, bring it home. When we go back to us as women, we understand what we want. Bring all of that in, because someone may still be struggling with looking at themselves. They're still wanting to go out and look and see what a man wants and take notes. Help us understand, when we look at ourselves first, how that sets the stage to receive what you want as a woman.
So I think it's all about, and I'm gonna say for me, not just women, but for anybody, but especially for my sisters. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna say my sisters. I'm gonna say, and the things I've said here and the way I share things are the exact same way that I've shared things with my daughter. So you know it's gonna be genuine because I care about my daughter. And even though I don't know, most women, I just generally care about people unless they're asshole, and then that way I just don't give a damn. But anyway, I just care about people. I want people to be the best person that they can be with inside of you, not looking at anybody else, not depending on anybody else, because no one else is guaranteed. So I like to be efficient. I know for myself to be good, I need to get inside of me and make sure I'm good, because I don't know what's coming. I don't know what's leaving. But despite what comes and goes, I still need to be me. I still need to be there for me. So I need to watch out for me. If I'm not there for me, if I don't take care of me, how can I help take care of the people who I'm supposed to take care of? How am I supposed to be there for the people I'm supposed to be there for? If I'm not good with me and saying what I'm supposed to say and telling people what I'm supposed to tell them, the way that God tells me to tell them, how can I come on here with Keisha and just say what the hell I want to say unless I care about you? But at the same time, I got to know that I'm Antonio Boswell, that I'm boss, and I'm set up a certain way. So it has to start within you. People are going to come and go. Situations are going to come and go. The one thing that is constant is you. So why not spend some time on you? The person that it doesn't matter who comes if you're going to be you. If you're going to act like you and be who God made you to be, it does not matter who comes, because you armed to deal with it. You armed to accept them. You armed to push the ass away. You are armed. You are ready to roll if you're ready to roll with you. You have everything that you need inside of you. And if you don't have it, I can guarantee you it's in arm's reach if you need it. But you got to be you. You got to take care of you. You got to get yourself ready. It's all about you. People going to come and go. We can line up those 10 women, those 10 men, and they're going to be in that line, but it's still going to be about you. Who they are is who they are. Who are you to decide who you're going to accept? So those 10 women, those 10 men, those 15 women, those 15 men, they're going to be in the line. They're coming. They're coming. They are coming. Who you are and what you decide to accept is going to determine If you're gonna be happy, you're gonna be sad. How long are you gonna be happy? How long are you gonna be sad? I guess that's it, Keith.
Whew. Well, I had a confession this week from Joe Lockett on the show. He had a confession, but you'll have to go back and listen to Joe's confession.
Oh my God.
He confessed that he was something that you and I talked about earlier, and I laughed. And I'm a coach, and I laughed when he said it, and I thought, no, Keisha, you can't laugh at this on air. But I was like, I've never had anyone confess to being something.
So what did he confess to?
The words almost slipped out to I'm a narc. Then he caught himself. So you need to go talk to your boy. You need to go talk to
He
him.
confessed on air?
Yes, he did.
Okay, I probably heard it before.
He probably has said it to you. That
Yeah.
was just the most hilarious thing to me. I said, "What?" And that's not the first time he said it. I interviewed him before. He said, "Well, I know people say that I'm a narcissist." I said, "I don't say that. What are you doing?" I don't know why that just took. That just
A
was hilarious.
surprise?
Huh?
That's a surprise.
No.
See, that's what I'm saying. Who who could spend time? And let me make sure I say this right. Who could spend time with my brother? I'm saying my brother. And I
Yeah.
have no blood brothers, but I've called very few people my brother. Who
Yeah.
can spend time with Joe Lockett and not know he's a narcissist? He's not a narcissist.
You would tell him that?
Yeah,
Wow.
he's a narcissist and an asshole.
Say that again. What'd you
He's a
say?
narcissist and an asshole. But listen, he's one of the most loving, caring,
Most love.
narcissistic assholes I have ever met in my life. And
You
that's
know,
why I still deal with him to this day.
yeah.
Business wise, what did I say before? My background allows me to find the narcissists and use them for my benefit. But other than that, me and Joe have a very personal relationship. We've been there for each other during some difficult times, his life and my life. So
Yeah.
yeah, asshole narcissist, but he's probably one of the most kind and caring, connecting asshole narcissists that I've ever met. But
Yeah.
how could you not? And he told you. He told you
Twice.
he was a narcissist. He would
Twice.
tell people he's a narcissist. He would tell people he's an asshole. And women still want him.
Well, you're not lying because
Mhm.
I can tell you. I told you I might as well be his agent now.
Right.
You know,
Because
I might as well be his agent.
and they're overlooking the red flags because of what?
And wait, pause that and look, Bob. And then
Wait. So, wait, my boy, and so of chance. Oh boy, that's my boy, man. That's my dog right there. That is my boy.
hey,
Yeah.
look, we love him. And
Right.
I told him on air. I said, I said one thing about you. I said, yeah, yeah, you can be a, well, yeah. I said,
Yeah.
but one thing about you, when you love, when somebody's part of your family, I
That's
mean,
it.
he and
That's
I,
it.
he and I,
That's
look,
it.
he and I at times, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, admittedly, I mean, we get on one another's nerves, but we put it
Right.
aside. We come together and do business, and he goes and I go, you
That's
know,
it.
and whoever, and and that's great because there's somebody who'll be able, I think, to put up with that. I mean, I think there's somebody for everybody. Now that
It
it's
is.
but that's not
It is.
really my forte. It's not really for me to be concerned about. I mean, we kind of do our business thing and we go on, and I wish him
Mm-hmm.
the best, and he wishes me the best.
That's
Um,
it. That is it all day. So I mean, like you just said, we've been knowing each other for 8 9 years. Always, I helped him build like an media radio show. He helped me launch my photography, personal things. but you said it, once you're a family, you are a family. He will go to the nines for
He
you,
will. He will.
one hundred
He will.
percent. The
He
thing I
will.
like about Joe, he is who he is. He doesn't try to change who he is. Either you like it or you don't, and
Absolutely.
I can roll with that. Definitely
Absolutely.
roll with that.
I think that and I'm going to give you a true confession as I get ready to close out. I think one of the things that women struggle with, and why they even seeing the signs and even knowing that maybe you're going down a wrong path with guys, is because of an empathetic nature. So a
Mm-hmm.
person who is empathetic, narcissists are attracted to them like a, what do they say, the like the moth is
Off
it
to a flame.
moth to a flame. They're attracted to them because that's what they want. They want the attention and the nurturing, but it ends up being something that could be very toxic later on. So I think
Mm-hmm.
as you become more mature, you start to recognize, and I'm always very careful about telling women who are in marriages and they recognize this is their partner. I can't tell them, and we can't tell you to get a divorce, but I still, I'm gonna tell you, say a piece of advice, and you let me know if it sounds familiar. You take care of yourself, and once you do that, all the rest of that stuff that doesn't serve you well is going to fall off anyway. Do you am I hitting it just right?
That's
Do you?
it. That's it. Once you prepare yourself, I think is the key. That's for anything. Prepare yourself. Get yourself ready for things that come, because things are coming. Things are going to come. You need to set yourself up to be able to recognize what other people are. But as you recognize what other people are, you have to recognize what you are, and what's triggering you. What's attracting you. Because like you just said, I think women are natural nurturers,
Absolutely.
and
Most.
and yes, women are nurturers, and I think that's their role, and that's how God set it up to be. Women are natural nurturers, but sometimes I think women try to nurture the wrong people in the wrong way. If you're a person who likes to help, you're always going to be drawn to situations where you have to help, but help has to have a limit. There's a limit
That part.
to help.
That
Uh,
part.
some relationships are one sided, and I like to call that more of a charity type thing. Charity, we don't expect anything in return. That's how it's supposed to be. We give
Mhm.
to a charity, we don't want anything. We don't want any money, any service. We're giving to charity. But some relationships are supposed to be a reciprocity. I give
Yeah.
to you, you give to me. So my daughter is a psychologist, and I hope she is at the point where she can help people, but not take it home. Women,
Yeah.
you can help people, but you don't have to bring it home.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you got to bring it home.
Yes.
You can
Yes.
nurture somebody, and don't bring their ass home. You can help somebody feel good and not bring them home.
Yes.
You can
Wow.
nurture. You got to, you can help
Ooh.
somebody. You can help that dude, but that ain't got to be your soulmate. It's not set up like that. It ain't how it work.
Come on now. Come on now. You're all, I'm sitting here, I think by this nature here, by this conversation, I've come up with a term. And I may just bounce off of this for this next week as part of the teaching series. An empath with healthy boundaries.
Healthy boundaries. Healthy
An
boundaries.
an empath with healthy boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
You can nurture
I
him.
like that. I like that. I like that because you're supposed to help people, and I'm not being on the Bible, and I don't haven't memorized any Bible verses or anything, but Google and see if it says when you help other people, it's supposed to hurt you. Google that, and maybe that can be a topic. What does it say when you help somebody else is supposed to hurt you? That doesn't even sound right.
Doesn't even sound right, does it?
Yeah.
But people are doing it every day, and they're wearing the signs of it. especially ladies, in the name of love.
Mm. In the name of love. Wow. Now, that was deep. In the name of love. Hmm.
Yeah, I think I just found my topic for next week. Some stuff you just don't mess with. You just let it kind of slide right there. Yeah.
Yeah,
All in
realize
the
your
name of
role.
love. Huh?
Yeah, you have to realize your role.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because you're helping somebody does not mean you're supposed to be in a relationship. Does not mean that's your soulmate. Don't mean y'all
Yeah.
supposed to be dating or having sex. That
Yeah.
might just be somebody you need to be talking to and helping to on a mental or spiritual level. I mean, you bring the ass home. That ain't how they work.
You know, you're setting some folks free. You're setting some folks
That's what
free.
it's all about. Being free. Being free.
You're setting some
Being
folks free. Help him, but you ain't got it home him. You don't have to
yes.
bring him home.
You got to bring it home.
You
You
don't have to
not
bring him.
bring it
Help him. Keep him at a distance, like ladies,
home.
because it's easier to do it on the front end other than get into a marriage and try to backpedal out of and
That back
slow.
end, man. That back end. You don't want
Whew,
that back end.
no, no, no. Help him, but it doesn't mean you have to bring him home. If you want to be an empath, you get all of that out, get all of that helping out. You can even have conversations with him, but it doesn't mean that you have to bring him home. Doesn't mean that you have to. And ladies, let me say this as I conclude. You can also date, date other people. Sometimes we get hooked up too quick. If we see,
Mm,
and then women are too loyal to a fault. If you know it's not working, if you know this is not where you want to go, you can backpedal out of that thing. You can have a conversation and say, listen, this is not for me. I'm not ready to commit to this, or I'm looking for something a little different, or I kind of have a change of heart about some things. That's grown folk conversation. All this
mm,
staying and stuff and trying to help people, and then when you get down the line, those people, the empath, talk about not having healthy boundaries. Then that person dogs you because they never cared. It was just to get what they needed. So if you don't go ahead
mm.
and make that step, you're gonna eventually make it, because what happens is people just see how far a narcissist has no boundaries. A narcissist doesn't, they don't understand when to stop. Take that, there is no such thing as stopping. It's
Right.
as I'm going to keep pushing it, I'm going to keep pushing it, I'm going to keep taking.
They don't care.
They
They
don't
don't
care.
care. They do not care. It doesn't matter what you do. Does not matter what you say. They are going to be about them. No way around it.
It's so make the hard step up front. It's easier to do it up front. It's easier to hurt up front instead of getting yoked up in these situations. We still have a shot at you if you're dating. When you get married, it's a little more difficult. And I dare say the cost is greater. It is greater because you've got hooked up resources, you've got more hooked up emotions, you've got more time, you've got more invested. The cost is greater. If you're engaged to someone and you know they have narcissistic tendencies, slow down, put it on hold, put it out 6 months. All this rushing and your body clock and time, and then we get in stuff and we're devastated. Devastated. Let me sit up and close it out. Because I just let me sit up and close it out. But we're helping some people. But I wouldn't dare, Boz. I thank you so much, because I could just everyone. It went a little bit today. This has been the conversation this week. I'm thinking, oh, we'll have a certain amount of time. I get on here with y'all and we talk, because inevitably, and people watch, women
Mm,
watch, because they're being helped. And they need to be able to listen, and they need somebody else to deal with this. So I get all kinds of hate mail of, why are you doing that? You go through this, you had this, or, you blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I'll take all of that on the front,
mhm.
take all of it. If it's going to help somebody, because when I get those messages, that's what it's about.
Right.
I don't care nothing about what folk think about me. I don't care nothing about that. Think what you want. I'm living my best life. I'm
Mm.
happy. So I will take it. Somebody told me that I had a smile on my face they hadn't seen in a while. I'm like, if
Okay.
you only knew the
Okay.
change. They did. They said, you just look brighter. And I'm like, yeah,
Yep.
there's a reason for that.
Yep.
There's been some change. A change has come. And I thank goodness for it. So may we leave you with this encouragement to take some time to understand you. Boz, I cannot thank you enough. It's always real, it's always raw. Will you let people know how they can contact you? You are entrepreneur, communicator, media empire. How do they contact you? And what is it that you want to? And I forgot to mention your cool Santa too. Dang.
I am aboswellmedia.com, therealcoolsanta.com. Media wise, I'm a media specialist. Video photography, I've done radio, TV, right, all of that. Cool Santa is a variation of Santa Claus. He's a little bit cooler, a little bit more chocolate. So if you need something for your holiday, hit the realcoolsanta.com or aboswellmedia.com for any of my media services. I appreciate you, Keisha, for having me.
You always are welcome. I was trying to get some of those sites up there. I had a little bit of a typo, so I was changing that. It's always fun, man. Tell Taser I said, "What's up?" There's his
Real,
website, aboswellmedia.com. And what is
that's
the
it.
other one? The realcoolsanta.com.
Realcoolsanta.com.
All right. I'm going to put that up there as well, realcoolsanta.com. And it's about time for them to start booking, right? I mean,
Mhm.
if they haven't
Yeah.
already.
Christmas is coming up. I saw they already had Halloween stuff up in the
They
store.
do. They
So that
do.
Christmas stuff is going to be coming soon too.
Well, Boz, goodness gracious, time doesn't wait for anyone. A fall will officially hit in about a week.
Hmm.
And if the weather has anything to do with it, it kind of puts you in the mode of that right now with how cool
Right.
things have been.
Right.
So yeah, so another we're back to another holiday season. So
Hmm.
it's here. So the realcoolsanta.com, what a great
Yeah.
project. What a great look to see a black Santa.
Yeah.
Imagine
Cool Black Santa.
a cool one at that with the
Cool Black
ascot and the
Santa.
shades.
That's it.
Yeah, and,
That's
and
it.
not just shades, those are aviator shades, aren't they?
Those are aviator mirror frame.
Aviator mirror frame.
Mirror frame.
Tell you how much I know about that. Cool, but the real cool Santa would know that. He understands that when
Right.
he tries toys.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Oh man, I love it. I love it. I love it. I think I'm gonna have to have you back on, maybe to evolve as the as cool Santa and have you like in
Cool.
full and
Cool.
dressed up and everything. That
Let's
would be
do that.
cool, wouldn't it?
Let's do that.
Have you back, have you on. Ooh.
Let's
Or
do
we could
let's
show.
do a Christmas show or something.
Oh, yes, yeah, Hercules, Hercules. Yeah, do like a Christmas show on Evolve, man. Done deal. I'm working on it. I'm on it. Say, boss, I'll see you later. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank
Always
you, Keith.
fun.
I appreciate it.
Okay, we'll see you later, Antonio.
All
That's
right.
Antonio
Thank you.
Boswell. You're welcome. Antonio Boswell, the real cool Santa. If you want to get in touch with him for Santa Claus, for your school or whatever, aboswellmedia.com. Y'all, I'm just kind of laid out on this conversation today. Just the thoughtfulness, the the gravity of it. Catch what I'm saying? The gravity of the conversation, the seriousness of it. In that we really don't have control over anyone else. We only have control over ourselves. So that's where the change begins when you look at yourself. I am Kisa. I am Coach K. I'll be back next week at 6 o'clock. And I'm going to be talking about some things that we will have coming up in the fall. But, Antonio got me thinking on something, an empath with healthy boundaries. Okay. Okay, mom. Mom is peeping in the door telling me some things. An empath with healthy boundaries. What does that look like? You can still care. You can still love them. But as Antonio so aptly mentioned, that does not mean that you have to bring them home. I love you. Have a great weekend. I'll see you soon. Mwah.